What's shaking, everybody? Luke Dancy here, and I am joined by Magic Singh, all the way from the other side of the world, at least for me. He's in London, I'm in Vegas. How we doing, sir?
Hello, Luke. How are you? And how's everyone else doing? I hope you're all well.
It's definitely some strange times, my friend, but we were going to talk about some of the fun stuff, some magic, and get to know you a little bit better. And also, you were quite the social media butterfly. You were all over the place, and I know people want to do more with their social media, especially as a magician. So we're going to
Oh,
pick
yeah.
your brain a little bit. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready for it, Luke.
Nice.
Where you want to start?
Well, why don't we start? Let the guys. Why don't you fill them in on who you are, what it is that you do, and then we'll get into asking you some questions just for you.
Sure,
All right.
sure. Oh, beautiful. So, I'm known as Magic Singh, but my real name is Amadit Singh Danjal. So, I got the stage name of Magic Singh while I was at school. So, I remember during break times, lunch times, I'd go around the playground or the concourse, and I'd just be doing card tricks. I remember I had the Svengali deck and it marked, or I shouldn't say that, so some of the Marvin's Magic props at the time. And I was going around doing all these amazing fun tricks, which I was really hooked by. And of course, the reactions were those David Blaine style reactions, which was fantastic. And slowly the name just kind of started going around like, oh, there's that Singh. Because anyone who's Sikh, a male Sikh with a turban, is referred to. But because I was doing magic, they were like, "Oh, look, it's that Magic Singh guy, the Magic Singh guy." I don't know who said that, but thanks to whoever that was, because that name has now stuck, and I've used that name, well, 24 years later now, and using it professionally all over the world for my shows, my gigs, and everything now.
Right on, man.
So
Good
yeah,
story.
fun. Thanks to whoever that was.
Good story there. Yeah, we had a little bit of a hiccup with your video there, but you're
Thank you.
back. You're back again. So hopefully your signal will stay strong for us
Oh,
there. Yeah, but you're good.
apologies about that. Sorry.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
You're good.
good.
Yeah, I don't know if you have your notifications
Fantastic.
turned on, but if they pop up, it might pause your video. So I don't know if you have your phone set to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but you're good. You are good. So why don't we jump to our
Okay,
first
good.
question?
Excellent.
Frankie Valley wants to
Sure.
know, why did you choose to do social media? Why did you choose to really focus on that and make it something that you really have? You've done big things with it. So why did you jump into that world?
Definitely. I'll be honest, at first it was just purely for fun. I love creating content. I love putting my magic on video and just kind of sharing it out and just having fun with it. It started off with Facebook, YouTube, and then as Instagram came along, I started doing it on there. I didn't take it so seriously. It was just purely for fun. And then I realized, oh, I'm getting more and more recognized while I'm doing my professional bookings with my weddings and my corporate dues. I thought, oh, this is quite cool. So I kept doing this and I was getting far more recognized to a point where it was then turning into bookings. So there was a lot of inquiries coming through Instagram, coming through Facebook, and even YouTube as well. So I just thought, hang on a minute, this is kind of an obvious thing here. I'm creating content for free with my full creative control. People are enjoying it. I'm building a fan base. I'm also now monetizing in the sense of getting my bookings from social media. When I realized that, I thought, all right, I'm going to go full on and now keep creating more and more content. I'd create stuff which is fun just for the camera. We'd do stuff which is live with a real audience, and I'd do actual footage from my weddings and my corporate dues, and then get snippets of those and pop that up online. And people loved it because there's a nice variety of everything, and it's until today, like I said, it's worked in my benefit, which is great.
Very cool. I'm actually going to run a poll here. I'm going to put up a live poll for our friends on Facebook anyway. I want to get to know the
Okay.
guys out there. I'm asking if they are also focusing on social media as a magician, because I think it is a great thing to do, because what we do is so visual. A lot of it
Oh yeah.
it's such a visual thing that it kind of makes sense for it to be there. Now, when you've started doing social media stuff, do you look at it as like as an advertisement for yourself and your services, because you're also a real performer, that you do corporate stuff and a lot
Yeah.
of high end stuff too, right?
Absolutely. And like I said, when I saw that transition of just having fun to actually getting inquiries for bookings, I thought this is the perfect platform
Yep.
to promote my actual services. And I've been doing that since for maybe more than 5, maybe coming up to 10 years now, I'd say. And it's just got stronger and stronger. And as other platforms have come along, like TikTok or Musically or TikTok, I've really kind of invested into that as much as I can, because the whole world is connected on social media, and the way TikTok has popped off is it's just been amazing and amazing for myself. And not only have I got bookings through TikTok and Instagram, but I've also got brand deals out of these social media platforms.
Yeah, we were definitely going to get into
So
that.
it's really been beneficial.
That's where it gets fun, and that's where you can really start to make a difference
Yeah.
with the magic financially, for sure. Speaking of that, why don't we show?
Yeah.
I've got one of your ad campaigns that you did. Well, this is not a whole campaign. This is something you did as an ad for a company as part of a campaign they were doing. This is the Reese's thing, and we'll let it play a couple times here.
Oh yes.
This is you
This was
using magic to
Of course.
promote Reese's. So why don't you talk about this a little bit as I let this run a few times?
So they got in touch. They were saying, like, listen, we've got this campaign with Reese's chocolates, and I thought, okay, I've got a sweet tooth, so I love my chocolates, but I'd never eaten one of those buttercups before. I thought, okay, fine, let's try this. And there's something a whole bunch down, and basically where you're passing one of these little buttercups over to this side of the screen, because someone else from another video will pass it from this side, and then I have to pass it to someone else. It was as simple as that. I thought, right, first thing is first, I've never eaten one of these before, so they sent me a few over. I tried it for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, these are amazing. I kid you not, Luke, I was hooked. And even till today, I'm not even joking, I brought so many packs home, and that's my little poison, if you like.
Nice.
But yeah, it was great. So I wanted to keep it as visual as possible, because that's what people love.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a form of levitation in there, and I just thought it would be great to make it, rather than taking it out of the packet, why not produce it out of the phone? And I used Replica 4D, which is a fantastic app or product, if you can, and you can literally produce anything from the phone. But I didn't want to just leave it there. I just thought I have to do something physically with it, and I chose to do a levitation with it as well. And it just worked really, really well. And the client loved it. Reese loved it. In fact, Reese sent me another box of chocolates, which is amazing. I thought, yes.
Nice.
So yeah, they've got me hooked.
Very nice. And so did they find you because of your social media presence, or did you meet someone in person that then converted over to the online space? How did that work with Reese's?
They literally saw me online, but they did it through an agency to kind of keep it professional. I mean, I've had a few companies that have approached me directly, but then with Reese's they had to go through a specific agency to get to me.
Got it.
Like I said, just to keep. So we still there? We're good. Yeah. Okay. I do apologize. I think if I froze it for a moment, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're here.
But yeah, it worked really well, which is quite nice. So, and that's what I'm saying. The more you keep doing, the more you're opening your network up as well, because you don't know who's going to see it, whether it's in the UK or in the US or India. The thing is, if this is what you love doing, just keep creating content, and it's gonna lead to something.
Yeah, and there's something else I had queued up. This is another thing that you did because of you being very visual or being seen with your visual magic and your style of magic. This was an ad campaign that you did with Fantasy Island, the movie, of all things.
Oh, yes.
I'll let you talk about this a little bit.
This was cool.
Really cool. Yeah. So what's going on there?
This was with Sony Pictures. They got in touch with me last year. So for this one, this was in Singapore. This was brilliant. This was to promote this movie called Fantasy Island, where they took myself and a few other influencers, all from around the world. Nice. Took us to Sentosa Island, and they arranged some amazing activities. Billionaire's yacht for us to shoot content on, and I was literally spoiled for choice. I didn't know what to do, but I wanted to keep it simple and slightly relevant to the movie as well at the same time. And I chose to do that one there, as you saw, which is the hydrostatic glass illusion. And then there was another one which I have done where we did the vanish of the bottle. Again, just kept it as visual as possible, kind of kept the tagline lines to the movie, and the client loved it, which was great. This is in fact the second one I've done with Sony Pictures. I remember the first one we did was escape rooms, which was really good fun. So that's on my social media at some point. If you want to see that, you can see that down the little grid somewhere.
Nice.
But yeah, it's great.
And again, a lot of this, guys, and I'm looking at the poll. If you guys haven't jumped into that on our Facebook page yet, if you're watching over there, it's almost a 50-50 split here. Are you using social media as a magician? We've got 56% of the audience said yes, 44% of the audience says no. So the ones that say no, look what you're missing out on. you know, teaming up with.
The way I look at it, the way I see this, because it depends what you want out of this whole thing at the end of the day. I mean, do you want to get bookings out of this? Do you want to become famous? Or, as they say, Instagram or TikTok famous? Do you want to monetize from this? Or do you want to just do this for fun? If you want to do this for fun, by all means, this is the perfect excuse to go to your magic drawer and get all those tricks that you can't do in the real world and just put up on Instagram or TikTok, and it will look fantastic. But for those who do it to forward themselves in their career, it's the perfect platform. And like I said, the more you do, the more you're going to kind of spread your network, and you're going to eventually be seen by someone who thinks, oh, he's fantastic or she's fantastic. They would be great for this campaign I've got in my mind. And you'll monetize from it, and it's great. And you're having fun doing what you love and making money.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of specific questions about social media stuff, which I was hoping was going to happen because you are someone that's actively doing this a lot.
Sure.
It was Leon, my good buddy out there, says, do you have a minimum or maximum posting videos in a week or a month? So when it comes down to this stuff, how disciplined are you as far as, or is there a formula that you have, or do you just find content when you find it?
Firstly, hey Leon, thanks for the question. I'm going to be very, very honest. At first, I was just doing it willy-nilly, just posting whenever I want. Maybe once a week, perhaps twice a week. And this is Instagram and or TikTok. But then it got to a point where I saw how well everything was doing. So then I got to a point where I was almost doing it every day. But then you have to understand, as a magician, that can become very expensive. Because, once you've done the one trick, that's it, they've seen it, on to the next one. And, there's only so much you've got in your repertoire, or the stuff that you've just got in your drawer. Once you've used it, you've used it. Unless, of course, you rehash it in a different way completely. Apologies about the helicopter that's going by.
They're coming for you, man. They're coming for you.
So the other thing is as well, they are. They're an Apache helicopter. Wow. Okay. We'll talk about algorithms. Now, algorithms is another thing, and people have a technique of how to beat the algorithm, where you have to post at a certain time, or you're going to have to comment a certain amount, and people have to kind of engage with your post. Again, it all comes down to what your end result is. Do you want to get bookings out of this? Do you want to monetize from this? Are you just doing this for a laugh? It's all dependent on that. If you want to be seen, if you want to become famous, if you want to kind of expand your bookings, then yes, my advice would definitely be to post perhaps 1 to twice, maybe 3 times a week, because consistency is also very, very important. I've noticed that when you stop posting for perhaps a week, which I've done before, maybe even a week and a half, it will start to slow down, especially when you post another video up, it won't do as well, which is a bit frustrating, because sometimes you might put in so much effort to such a cool video, and it just doesn't perform well. And it's like, oh man, I spent so much money and time and effort, or whatever it is. I remember just doing a silly trick once. I mean, even that the bottle, you're going to probably see a little bit later, I've done some silly tricks just for a laugh, and they've just spiked all of a sudden. I'm thinking, come on, man, I just did this trick for a laugh. And whereas the other ones, I've spent my time and effort, and they haven't performed as well. But yeah, I think just consistency is key, especially if you want to build a profile online. And as a professional magician, I highly recommend you use social media to build your profile, because it's free and it's the best way. Everyone has a smartphone nowadays, and it's the best way to get your name out there and get bookings.
And speaking of bookings, you literally have traveled the world performing for different types of clients. I believe, weren't you in Dubai sometime over the last couple of years? Weren't you in Dubai?
I remember when I finished university in 2007, and my first booking was out in Dubai for 1 month in a 5-star hotel, and we had pool executive suites. I thought, what is this? You guys are spoiling us. It's ridiculous. And we had to perform, I think, 6 days out of the week.
Wow. But
they were like 1 hour slots. One to 2 to 3 hour slots. And then the rest of the time was just have fun and play. And I thought, this is the life. This is the absolute life. You can't get better than this. But yeah, I've been blessed, with all the hard work and the graft I've put into it to kind of see many parts of the world. But I've got so much more to see yet. And it's great because you never expect to travel to certain parts of the world, and you never imagine to be doing certain tricks for certain people, especially with celebrities. You see them on television or you see them in films, and then all of a sudden you're like almost best buddies with them. You're just doing magic for these people, and it just feels great.
Crazy, man.
So it's wicked fun, and and all the other grateful it is, to be in that position to do what you love, get paid, and see the world. It's amazing. It's a great feeling.
Absolutely. When it comes to the hard work, though, that helps you get these connections, that helps you to get these deals, these sponsorships.
Yes.
Sanjeet, my friend over in India, wanted to know about how much time does it take you to create a video? And I have a feeling it's different for each video, but what's the general process too? Why don't we get into specifics of making a video? Because a lot of people think it's easy, but the reality is it might not be easy.
No.
Yeah.
You pretty much answered it. It's not easy. This is the thing. Although we have full creative control, that's what I love about this. And then by having that, it's a danger because you could spend ages trying to think of, I could do it like this, I could do it like this, I could do it like this. The best thing is have the idea, whether it's a new trick that's come out, something that's old, and then just put something simple. Oh, my wife tells me, keep it simple. Don't get too complicated. Just keep it simple because people's attention span is so small. So how do I get people's attention straight away? So these are the little things you got to remember, and keep it visual as possible, and always address the camera. I'll be honest, these sorts of things will only come with practice. So the more you do, the more you'll see what works and what doesn't work. I find that I say, hey guys, I'm Magic Singh. Today I'm here. Like, people are bored already. We know who you are. It's like, just get on with it. So it's about just kind of going straight into it. Guys, here's here's a playing card. Boom, the king of clubs in this case, and then straight. I'll always jot down ideas every time. So first I'll write down the name of the trick I've got, whether it's a new trick or an old trick. I'll kind of start branching out how I could not just do the trick as it comes out the packet. I want to kind of, I want to fuse it into something which is relative to other people. Like I said, I was drinking this bottle of water and I was just literally on the phone to someone. I was just flicking the cap up like this randomly. I thought, maybe I could make this spin and float, and obviously we all know there's various ways of doing that. It's a quick visual fun trick. There you go. Look at that, right on cue. Look at that. I think I'm even wearing the same t-shirt. No, it's not the same t-shirt. That'd be a bit weird. But look, something as simple as that. It's just, we all relate. We all wear AirPods. Well, most of us wear AirPods. We take calls like that. We all, it's just in a normal, casual setting, which anyone can relate to, rather than just magicians. But then there'll be certain things which I will do, of course, which is just more so for just showing more than anything. So I don't know the process, and like I said, trial and error, sketch it down, write it out, try it out, see what it looks like on camera. Another thing I'm always looking out for is lighting. I love to get the light right, because if it's too dark, it's just not as appealing to the eye. So even today, I'm outside on the balcony. I was going to face, so you got the River Thames in the backdrop, but you wouldn't be able to see my face. So I thought, all right, I'm going to have to flip it around so you get much nicer lighting on myself. As you can see, I think that's the most important thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I apologize, guys, for some of the glitches that we're having. I know you guys are talking about the lag that we're having. I do apologize. We are connecting across the world here, so we're doing the best we can. But I know we're having a little connection issue there with Mr. Singh. But we'll move on. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Yeah. But I did want to acknowledge it, because I see it too, guys. I see it too.
My apologies.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. I just wanted to acknowledge it. Also, just so the guys know, as we do every week, we do these live shows. If you'd like to be entered to win your choice of any of our new downloads that have come out, all you need to do is drop a like and comment on this video. And you guys on YouTube watching, make sure you do that and drop a comment after the video's over so it sticks in those comments underneath the description of the video. So make sure you guys do that. I'll pick a winner. And YouTube friends, we're also giving away that GT Speed Reader deck, so don't forget to check out our post from Tuesday on that. So there's some fun stuff going on. Had some other questions coming in here about all this stuff. This is a good question from our friend over on Facebook. Ooh, that's big. Let me just bring that down. Pretoy, did you advertise your videos at first? I mean, were you promoting them with money, or was there no advertising? If you were advertising, what's the best way and platform for advertising? So giving yourself a boost in the beginning by advertising or boosting videos, is that a tactic that you have used? And if so, do you recommend it for other people too?
Hey, buddy, thank you so much for that question. So when it comes to sponsoring a video, I've only done it a very few times, and I've only ever done that with my showreel, which promotes my work, my gigs, my bookings, my private shows. And I targeted that specifically to areas within London or Birmingham or Manchester and things like that, where I know where I know people are going to see that, and people I know are going to be getting married in those specific areas. It does work to an extent, but there's a real skill to it, believe it or not. I mean, I've been watching videos by these professional online entrepreneurs like Gary Vee and things like that, and they'll give you tips on how to do social media advertising and promotions. And everyone talks about how cheap it is right now, and it is. And if this is something you want to really push, by all means, use that. But otherwise, in regards to all my other videos, I'd say 98% of my videos, pictures, whatever it might be, is purely organic, and I just leave it to just the people who follow me to just simply watch and engage and share it to them. And I prefer that, to be honest. It's far more, you get a far better reach and a more organic reach, which I think is better, because I remember one time I promoted one video, I had some random people, I think in west of Africa or east of Africa, watching the video. How it ended up there, especially when I didn't target Africa specifically. I know I did target Dubai, but I don't know how it ended up there. But you know, you live and learn, and you know, like I said, there's a real skill and an art to it. And once you've got that down, yeah, you're winning. And I know even on TikTok and Instagram, there are people that show you for free on how to do these things, the quick little tips and which are the hand. So definitely check that out.
Absolutely. I was looking through the questions here. We got some love for you. A lot of people really enjoy your videos. They love watching your videos.
Wicked. Thank you.
And speaking of which, I wanted to bring up one of them. I've got a couple of these queued up. This is part of your vlog series that you did. I don't think this one was part of a series, but this is from Glastonbury.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you want to kind of like talk about this a little bit while we watch some of you in action at a festival here.
Sure. Absolutely. So this is one of the biggest festivals in the world called Glastonbury, and I get booked every single year to perform there. For those who don't know, Glastonbury is a huge site, and there's various different areas. A big music festival, but it's not just music. There's so much more. There's theatre, dance, music, you name it, everything is there. And literally, I'll take a few friends down with me as well, and we'll just shoot magic, because I'm booked there to do close-up mingling magic, but I also do a cabaret show at late night. But because it's such a beautiful summertime, it's just a brilliant backdrop for doing magic out there. I mean, you can see in the video, like, you got some right crazy acts over there, and just people up for having such a laugh. And we just go out there, and I'll prepare this. I'll make a list of all the things I want to do and how we're going to film this. I'll have sometimes 2 cameras filming this, and we're good to go. And just, I want to do something different, something that people haven't really seen, or I might have a twist on something that people may have seen, and just literally capturing it like this. I remember a year before this one, 2018, I did it as small little stories, which was great. It was great fun, but I just thought, right, this time let's do something which is like a vlog, a bit like my 12 Days of Magic, which I think you've got lined up in a moment. And I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, for me to watch this, I'm watching this now as you're playing this. It's quite fun watching this, seeing the smiles on people's faces, and it's bringing back all my memories. And it's not just the magic; it's just showing my journey of getting there and how people are, me kind of interacting with people on just the way people know me there, which is really cool. So, if you haven't seen it, guys, definitely check it out. It's good fun, and you'll like the magic in there as well.
I have a question to ask you. You know, with everything that's going on, obviously you're out at a festival right now. You're performing around a lot of people. We're not able to do much of that these days with what's going on.
Yeah.
How have you handled that, both from a entertainer perspective, but also as a business? Because you do a lot of sponsored stuff for companies. You can't go out and do stuff for people as easily anymore.
Correct.
So, like, how has this affected you, especially when it comes to you performing and doing what you do for a living? I mean, that's definitely changed things up for you.
Time really has. I mean, as all the professionals who are watching right now, they'll tell you the same, that it's difficult times, definitely, because we literally can't perform at the moment because you're simply not allowed to because of the whole social distancing and the fear of the virus as well, of course. So what do? Of course, at first there was an element of panic, like, oh God, like I've got no more bookings, what do I do? So this is the time to be creative, and this is where online is really, really important, because for those who have already got a profile, you can now monetize, because there were a lot of businesses who did approach me and have approached me to do brand deals, and you can monetize from that as well. But then how long does that last for? I mean, that's probably what people are thinking. How many of those can you do? And what if you haven't already got a profile? And what if you're already behind the game? Again, you just have to be creative. And I've been doing a lot of shows online as well. So I've been doing private bookings through Zoom or Skype or FaceTime, whatever it might be. And it's worked really, really well. And it's quite nice because, obviously I can't fly, they can't fly, people can't travel, but people are in the comfort of their own home being able to watch a show. But again, it's a different type of show now, because I can't say, hey, pick a card, guys, because you can't. That'd be a wicked trick if you could. But it has to be more mentalism based. And I say that, but also it's the opportunity to use the visual magic, all these Instagram tricks that are out there. You can really do these where I do my Instagram magic, because a lot of people think, oh, they're just camera tricks because they're so visual. So I'll have a section where I'll be like, all right, here's about 3 to 5 of my Instagram tricks or TikTok tricks I do, and it just works really, really well. So my advice is just be creative and use what's already out there. We're living in a really blessed time where we got so many different platforms which we can utilize to our advantage. So my advice is don't be scared. Just think of different ways how you can kind of work things out, and it will work out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, well said. Yeah, I mean, this too shall pass, as the old saying goes. What, since you mentioned Zoom virtual shows during that, can you tell me how you've transitioned into that? Like, has it been an easy thing for you, or has it been something that you really? Some people have it easier than others. I think a lot of mentalists, they're kind of geared up for virtual shows because of the way that they do stuff. But when it comes to visual stuff, it's kind of hard to just do that for like an hour on a Zoom call. So why don't you talk a little bit about the virtual shows and maybe even a little advice for people that are struggling out there?
Absolutely. Again, everything takes time and effort to perfect. I remember when I thought, right, when I first got the idea, because I know a few magicians, so I was thinking, how can I do? So I sat down, I got my notebook out, and I listed all my performances I do in my cabaret show, and then a separate list for all my close-up routines I do. And I was literally scratching or scoring out the ones that I knew that's not going to work because of the physicality, like double cross, for example. You can't do double cross over social media. I mean, you could do it with yourself, but it just wouldn't be as effective. So literally just marking off the ones that don't work. Then I was circling the ones which would work, and then I'd make a separate list of all those ones circled. And then out of the circled ones, I would choose which would be the hard hitters, if you like. So I was narrowing it down to the best ones, and I was trying to see how I could fit that into either 15-minute slot, 30-minute slot, 45-minute slot, and an hour slot. Then I was trying to figure out a different kind of script for these particular tricks and routines, because you mentioned, like, how long can you go on a hard snap change or whatever. It's not the same. So how do you routine that? And that's where your skill set as a magician, as a performer, an artist has to come in, and you have to spend a bit of time to. It's almost like rewriting a script or a joke or a gag or a magic trick. It's the same thing applies, but how do you transcend a smartphone or a laptop? So these are the things you have to think about. And I've I've spent the time and effort doing these things. And I've spoken to other magicians. This is a good thing to do, is speak to other magicians, your pals, your friends. They will give you advice on what works and doesn't work. So I've got a few, oh, I do this particular trick, and they're like, oh, no way, you do that? And I'm like, yeah, it works fantastically. And then they would trick they do. I'm like, no, I thought that would work. And then they go, no, how you perform it. So it's good to kind of share these ideas. And it's just like, going to the magic circle or the magic castle. You're just sharing ideas with your peers, and they're going to give you the best advice. And obviously speak to those who are actually doing it. And it will work out in the end, definitely. So my advice is start off by listing all the tricks that can work over the camera, essentially. And there are loads out there. I mean, there'll be things that you already have, so you don't have to invest too much money into it. But saying that, I think magicians are releasing a lot of things at the same time in this current climate, which is tailored. There's this thing called the BM project. These guys released, Guy Bavley and Heim and these guys. It's only for social media, or it's only for great piece of magic. So yeah, just kind of be open to these things and be as creative as you can.
Well said, sir. Well said. And thank you for, sharing all of this too. I mean, a lot of what you're saying is advice and wisdom that comes only from doing it and being there and putting in the time.
Absolutely.
So you're sharing some of that. So, thank you for that. I had
my pleasure.
Really nice comment here from David Brock over on YouTube. He says, wow, you took the paddle to a whole new level. I don't think I've ever been that fooled by paddle moves. So he was digging your paddle move routine on the vlog there.
David, I was just as free for this. Michael J. Fitch is his routine. It's called How's That? It's called How's That? It's a great routine. I remember seeing, I'm thinking, God, this is a paddle routine. I'm blown away. How are you doing this? And I had to have it on my list to it, and it's worked for David too, which is good to know. And he's a magician.
There we go. It can be the simple stuff too, guys, that really pack a punch. And he's someone that does this for people, so take some notes.
There you go.
Fort Master wants to know, again from YouTube, what are your top 3 to-go tricks, like go-to tricks, and your top 3 picks of 2020? So I know that's a big question. Do you have any go-to tricks that you just always kind of have at the ready?
Is this now in general, or is this online? I'll tell you the general ones,
sure.
my favorites, and I'll tell you my online ones as well. So my go-to is, so Extreme Burn. I love that, Richard Sanders Extreme Burn. I love my double cross. And I love, what else do I do? When it comes to cards, I always have a deck of cards and a loop. No matter what, I'm probably going to go down to the shops and I'll be wearing a loop ready to go, because you just never know what you can do with it. You can literally create miracles. With a deck of cards, it'd be things like where you make the card change in the palm of someone's hand, or make it levitate out the pack, or produce it out the iPhone. So I keep it very minimal, but very powerful at the same time. So I would say those are my top 3. So the loop, the double cross, and the Extreme Burn. Right. Online-wise, I would love the Swami writer. That's one of my favorites. Again, Richard Sanders, any card where you produce the 4 aces and it's got the names written on the back. And what else is there? I love the Turner Watch. The Turner Watch is fantastic. Really, really strong. There's much, much more, but I think those are the ones I like. I know they're hard hitters for sure. So I hope that helps. Regards to 2020.
That's tough.
Wow. It's tough. The BM project, I don't know if any people have heard about that. That's an awesome thing. Again, that's only good for virtual shows. But I definitely recommend you check out the BM project. It's amazing. What else is there? I can't think right now off the top of my head, but when I do, I will mention it straight away.
You're good. You're good. Here's a question. You mentioned the virtual shows, how certain content is better suited for that. This was something people were asking me. I did a live thing on Tuesday. One of our friends on YouTube asked me this, and I had my own answer, but I'd love to hear yours, which was, after this is all, I don't ever like to say this is all over, but once we're able to perform again on a regular basis where there's not as many constraints, right? Do you think that once live entertainment is back and running smooth again, do you think that there will still be a place for virtual shows? Do you think that that's something that's still going to be around, or do you think that it'll be left behind once all this stuff is kind of, once we move on?
Funny thing is, I was having this conversation with my wife. I'm thinking, like, will this still work? Literally what you've just said. I think I prefer the live shows. I love interacting with people. I mean, everyone does, I'm assuming. Yeah. But the option, think about this. Fine, okay, say the lockdown's all over. We're back to normal. We're performing the gigs. Fantastic. But just think about it. You've now got another option. So say if people can't afford to have you, you've got a cheaper option of your own home. So I think it's nice just to have that as another option. It's just another stream of income that's going to come in. Say if someone wants to fly you out, they see that you tell them your quotes, and they're like, "Oh wow, it's too expensive. The flights are going to, they're going to kill me just alone." But you've then got, you can suggest a virtual show. Look, get your family together, and I'll put on a virtual show. And because it's cheaper, they're more inclined. So you're more inclined to making more sales with your virtual show, if that makes sense. So it's definitely a good thing, and nothing to worry about, because, like I said, once it's back to the normal live shows, you've still got the virtual as an alternative.
Yeah, and that was kind of the same thing I was telling people. Was I think just as an option, why not? Why not have it on your website or as an option? I mean, can't hurt. So, yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
What was the question I was looking at that when you were saying that? Okay, here's a good one from Mark Wybrow on Facebook. If you had a choice, where would you love to perform first once the lockdown is ended? So if you could go anywhere around the world and do a gig once you're able to travel freely. I know you can travel more over there where you are on your side of the world, but no constraints. You can go and perform anywhere. Where would you want to go perform?
Wow.
Good question.
That's a good question, but a hard question. What I said again, I was chatting to friends the other day, and I was like, I miss just doing weddings. I miss weddings because there's a real buzz when you get there, especially the summer weddings. They're the ones I miss the most, because you get there, everyone's in such a good mood. You're just having and you get these opulent, fantastic venues that I'm quite blessed to get to go to, and the food there is as well is amazing. And they're like, no, please sit down, eat with us and stuff like that. I'm like, I miss all that stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to that. But I'm also looking forward to just traveling with the magic as well. And when I want to come out to the States as well, that would be amazing, to do some magic out in Vegas. I mean, I'd love that. It's always been a dream of mine to do that. So I'm sure we can make some sort of arrangements, Luke.
Oh yeah.
So that'd be another thing. But yeah, no, definitely anywhere. Just I just want to get there and perform. I'm sorry if I didn't give that as a more of an exciting answer, but I just think just weddings alone, I just can't wait to start that stuff firstly. So cool. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It's interesting how different parts of the world have different performing, I wouldn't say options, but just where I'm going is on your side of the world, in Europe in particular, especially in the UK, it seems, wedding magicians are very, very popular. There's like this whole industry of people that can almost just do weddings. Over here, it's not a thing. It's really weird. It's not as big as it is over there. It's super weird.
I mean, I've noticed this in India as well. Now, India, they huge weddings, like ridiculous. It's almost like a circus, without sounding offensive, but they're incredible. They're beautiful to see. But to have a close-up magician is pretty much unheard of. They prefer to have the superstars or a magician or a superstar magician on stage to entertain the guests. Whereas here in the UK, you're right. It's you can make a living on just doing wedding magic here. And when I found that out about in the US as well, that it's not as popular, whereas it's more so popular to do kind of residencies and corporate events. I just thought, okay, cool. It just means there's a market for that, and someone just needs to tap into that and just monetize from it, because it works. It just works, which is brilliant. People love magic and weddings. Everyone's in a good mood, and what more can you ask for? Is a bit of magic, and people love that. You're adding, without sounding cheesy, you're adding a bit of magic to the couple's day. So
well said. Yeah.
Food for thought for my US friends out there.
There you go. I'm going to reopen the poll real quick as we start to get to the end of this. I've got one more clip that I wanted to share too of you in action. going to reopen up the
Sure.
poll for my Facebook friends. You'll see it popping up right about now. If you don't see it, click on the video and the poll will pop up at the bottom of your feed there. The question is, are you focusing on social media as a magician? I'm talking to Magic Singh, who has done that, has embraced it, and it's taken him really far as making money with it and landing some really cool deals with movie production companies and major brands like Reese's. So it can be done. So get in there and jump in the poll. The last clip I had was from you doing, this is the last day from your 12 Days of Magic series, which was a really cool idea, especially with the holidays. So why don't you talk about this a little bit as we watch you in action again?
So 12 Days of Magic is my wife's idea. So
Cool.
she came up with this concept of, hey, why don't you do like a 12 days, 12 tricks coming up to Christmas? And this was back in 2013. I thought, that's a great idea. That's cool. And I literally started doing this with just Instagram, where I literally did a magic trick every day up until Christmas. People loved it. I thought, oh, this is great. And I've got to do this next year. So I've been doing this every single year, only on Instagram as a small trick, like Christmas related. So where I take a bauble off the Christmas tree, make it levitate in my hand and float back to the tree, small things like that. So that was great. It worked well. And then it came to 2008, 17 or 18, I think it was, where I started doing longer routines. I just thought, I want to try something different because I've done it for so long now. And that's when I started doing these like YouTube vlog type things. And again, people enjoying it, and there's more watch time and people get to see more magic, which is great. I mean, again, I'll only choose to do maybe one or two tricks, but I'll do it over and over again a few times, just so you can get a feel for different reactions, which is quite nice. Before, I used to kind of go around the streets and places where people weren't. It's hard. Thing is, in the UK, trying to do street magic is just really difficult. People don't want to know. They just keep moving past it, just ignore you, thinking you're a weirdo. So then, thankfully, this thing called Winter Wonderland has always been in Hyde Park, which comes up every Christmas time during the holiday season. And I mean, as you can see in the video, look at it. It's just pure Christmas. And, everyone's in a great mood. Everyone's having fun. It's all Christmas themed. And I just thought, yeah, obvious. Let's go out there and do magic. And that's exactly what I've been doing now for the last couple of years, I'd say. And I mean, again, I would go get my notebook out. What is relative? What's related to Christmas? How can I tie certain things in? And as you can see with this one, which is Joe Miranda's Timeless, beautiful piece of magic. You look at it, look, it's Christmas. It just shouts Christmas when you see that little gift box. And it's nice, I did the routine where I borrow a coin, I signed it, and I made the coin, that's it. So I placed the coin in their hand, and it changes into a watch battery. And that's when I then bring attention to the box where we open it up to reveal a watch. And for those the routine, we remove the watch and we unscrew the back of the casing of the watch, and their signed coin is locked inside. Such a killer trick. Had real great fun doing this one, and which was also really, really cool with doing 12 Days of Magic is going around, people were recognizing me as well, which is really good. And like, oh, Magic Singh, hey, oh my God, can we get a picture, selfie? Like, yeah. I'll go, listen, can you help me out? Can you do some magic with us? And they're like, yeah, of course. So that helped in a really nice way as well. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen this year. I don't know whether they're going to have it this year or not. If they don't, I mean, I'll go back to the old school way of doing the whole Instagram small magic. But if they're on, we'll be back for 2020 for sure.
All right. I've got some questions around what you're doing in the video. You're approaching people. You're doing magic. Pretoy wanted to know on Facebook the best way to approach people in street magic. So in a situation like this, do you have any tips on approaching people, especially when they're going to be on camera? How do you kind of tee all that up for the spectators?
It's a good question. Great question, in fact, because that's a separate skill within itself.
Yep.
So I have a crew of two guys, literally just camera each, and we shoot everything on iPhone with the latest iPhone, and one, it's not a GoPro, it's like a GoPro, it's a DJI Osmo Action, and I love it because it's wide. It's a nice wide angle, and it captures everything, etc. So anyway, we'll have these items out. We'll approach a group of people. That's the thing. I'll have a deck of cards. I'll be just kind of doing all fancy stuff. Go, hey guys, I'll be as nice and jolly as possible. Hey guys, we're doing magic. Would you like to see something? But we're doing it for YouTube. Would you be up for it? It's as simple as that, as nice as that. You can't come across as intimidating. Your friends can't look intimidating. Can't be wearing hoodies or anything. No disrespect or anything. You got to look approachable. Once you've got that, once you've got the gift of the gab, some people will say yes, some people will say no. You could be as nice as anything, and they'll be like, no, 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 I don't want to see it. Or like, no, no, sorry, I don't want to be on camera. Oh, or you'll get the others who will say, yeah, yeah, that sounds great, let's do it. Oh my God, I want to be famous. You get all these sorts of things that I've said. So you'll get a mix of different types of people. So it's a numbers game. It really is. For example, that trick there. Look, you can see it's nighttime there now, where I'm just signing off. We spent at least 3 to 4 hours filming 2 takes. Because you'll film a trick, you'll get it, but they might not give you that reaction, which is what works and which kind of feeds the audience that are watching on YouTube or Instagram. So we had to just reshoot a few things again and again until we're like, okay, that was a great reaction. And again, you've got 2 angles as well of the camera, so you get the trick as well as the reaction. So it's hard work. It's not easy, don't get me wrong. It's very difficult, but it's great fun and it's worth it. And again, if it's what you love doing, what more can you ask for?
Well said. Very well said. We're getting close to the end of this, so I want to ask you one last question, and then I'll give you a chance to let people find you online. You can promote all your socials and all that fun stuff.
Cool.
This one comes from me, as I know a lot of people watching. Okay. We have a variety of people. We have older people, younger people, people in the middle that are new to magic, that have been doing it for a while. For someone that wants to jump into this game of social media magic, we're using magic on social media, I guess is the better way to put it. Some people are starting from zero, Singh. Some people are starting from zero, and they feel like it's an uphill battle that they can't win because everyone else is already doing it. For people that want to have a chance, is there a chance, or do they need to start adapting to new platforms that pop up and try to jump on those early adapters, as they say, or early adopters? What's your advice for people that are just like, they've never done it but want to do it? Like, it's got to be intimidating. When you start, it has to be.
I know exactly. And the funny thing is, I had the same question as lockdown kicked in March. What do you do? Tell us what you're doing. Oh my God, you must be laughing now that you've been doing it in TikTok and Musically, Instagram, all these things. My advice is just do it. Just get on the bandwagon. Like, I've always asked this same question to YouTubers. I'm like, oh my God, like, I want to start YouTube. I want to start a YouTube channel. What do I do? People just say, just get started. Don't worry about the algorithms or all this stuff. Don't get technical. Just create content, enjoy the process, and get it up there. What's going to happen is the more you put up there, people are going to eventually see it. People are going to get talking. Do something maybe a little bit different. Don't just do the same thing. Hey, I got these lottery tickets, bang, it becomes money. We've seen that. A lot of people have seen that now. Maybe do it in a different way. I don't know. And this is where creativity comes into play now. But my advice is, if you're on zero, start now. And if this is something you want to do, start now. Don't delay, because the more you delay, yes, the harder it will become, because I'm hearing now that it's becoming harder to now organically grow on Instagram, even TikTok. The TikTok has become far more saturated. It was a point where there's only little kids that were doing it, and I had little 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds coming up to me. It's like, oh my God, you're that magician on TikTok. Now it's like everyone. You've got celebrities, you got lawyers, you got bricklayers, you got every kind of person you can think of that's on TikTok now. So
I guess that's the question.
My advice is, if you want to do social media, get started.
I guess that's the question, though, then, is if everybody is trying to do the same thing, how can you win? I mean, that's a very honest question. For me, it's someone that doesn't do what you do. If the whole market, it's not a marketplace, but the whole world of that, if it's so oversaturated, especially now with more and more people stuck at home and glued to their phone or glued to their computer, how do you really stand out in an oversaturated market of other people that everyone's trying to do the same damn thing at the same time? Like, that's got to be really hard to pull through and make your way through all the shit that's out there.
The thing is, Luke, there's so much. We're lucky as magicians. There is so many tricks. There's millions, I would even say, of tricks that exist. There's a library of things everyone owns. You can purchase, you can buy. It's all about being creative. Really is. You can take an old trick and just rehash it in a completely different way. Like I said, the bottle trick. That's Yigal Masiki's. The tarantula. But I didn't use the tarantula for that. I'd used the similar setup. The hookup was really silly. the hookup was so silly. I mean, it's so simple. If you pull that a little bit further, you'd be like, oh right, that's how he's doing it. I mean, but it's we see that trick done with a borrowed ring, and it goes back onto someone's finger, or it's done with a lifesaver or a polo mint. Look, it's just about thinking outside the box. And look, just by changing it slightly, it becomes a whole different trick. And Luke, another thing is this trick here with the bottle cap. I put all my videos on all platforms. I'll even do it on Twitter, even though my engagement's terrible on Twitter. It's not the best. But this particular trick, oh my God, it did fantastic on Twitter. The amount of retweets I got and the shares and all. I have never, ever had that for a silly trick like this. It did so well. So my advice is just be creative. We've got thousands. We're blessed to have thousands of tricks available to us. Take something, change it, just make it a little bit different, and people will love it. And also look for trends. That's another this is a golden nugget. Look for trends that are on TikTok or Instagram, whether it's magic related or non-magic related. How can you take a particular trend and adapt it to magic? And that's all you have to think about. Again, write these ideas down, brainstorm it, and you'll create something that people love, and it'll go viral, guaranteed.
It's a good reminder too. I mean, yes, people can all do different magic tricks, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to you as the brand, you as the thing that makes it different. So that's a good reminder. Full circle. That's what being a magician is all about.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
That is what being a magician is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you a chance now to. I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, I totally agree with you. I was just going to quickly add to that.
Sure.
It's really important to add your personality into this. Try not to be someone who's not you, basically. Don't try to be someone that's out there or what's already been done, because there was a point where on social media there was many magicians trying to copy a certain formula a certain way, and it became boring, a bit repetitive. So my advice is try something new. Just be you, be original, and that's what's also going to work and make you successful.
Can I? Do you have time for one question that may take a couple minutes to answer?
Yeah, sure.
If you don't, it's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Fire away, please.
I'm brewing on this one. I was sitting here thinking, do I ask him this or not? So I'm going to ask it.
Go on. Go for it.
One word. Exposure.
Oh.
So we're not going to get too deep into this, but I wanted to ask, because one of the most popular platforms right now is TikTok. We'll see how long it lasts, actually, with everything going on.
Yeah.
It seems like the trend on there is literally people taking tricks that they've bought and just exposing the crap out of them, showing how tricks work. But the unfortunate part is that type of stuff is starting to go viral and getting people a lot of attention. So from one magician to another, I don't do what you do, so I can't say from one content creator to another, but from one magician to another, when you see that type of stuff and you see that it's getting people attention, it's inspiring other people to do the same thing. And it's, to me, it's a terrible, terrible thing to see people copying that. You were just talking about building yourself up, standing out, being different. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you get more attention, because it's you. But when everyone's seeing revealing magic secrets and tricks, gimmicks, as the thing that's getting people attention in a big way, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that? Because it's a very, very real thing for this generation of people that are on there doing this kind of stuff. So what do you think about all this?
Luke, honestly, I hate it. It really, really angers me when I'm seeing it far too often. Yeah. There was a stage we were seeing a lot of this on, dare I say, fake reactions at one point. There was too much of that coming up. Yeah. I guess it works to an extent. It's fun. If it's funny, it's great. But when you're exposing the trick, maybe not to the viewers at home, but to the people that are in on your act, then there's a bit of a borderline. And but when you're blatantly views, and that's all it's for, Luke. They're only doing it to get the views, because people are going to be interested. Oh, that's how. But the sad thing is, this is our livelihood, and we spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money to purchase certain tricks, props, rights, all these different things.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you got one person going around saying, "By the way, here's how I did it. There's so and so involved," and that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4 million views. It's almost like a adrenaline boost for them. Like, this is great. This worked. I'm going to try this again. And you're right, because it goes viral. Others are going to see it that as well. And then you're right, you're going to just see more and more of that. And it's really disappointing to see when you got people who are respected on those certain platforms. You know, why not be creative and rather doing the cheap shot, exposing the trick, and just go out there and work routines and create something new and different. I don't know. I don't like it though.
I just thought I would bring it up. It's definitely a trend, and I just wonder if it's a trend that's going to stay or just get worse. So. But speaking of these platforms, if people want to keep up with you on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are, YouTube, wherever, why don't you plug yourself here so people can keep up with you and subscribe right now while they're watching this too, or follow you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that, Luke. It's very simple. I've at Magic Singh. Pretty much where I am is at Magic Singh. TikTok is at Magic Singh, /Magic Singh or at Magic Singh, and same with YouTube as well. That's Magic Singh. You just search Magic Singh and there you go. Nice and easy. Whoa, nice and big. It's everything's online. Everything's under that name, that brand name, and name. So hopefully that's nice and easy. And thank you so much, Luke, for doing that for the spelling.
I got it right. I spelled it right. Okay, cool. You're very welcome. I mean, you're one of the good guys out there.
Spot on. Perfect.
You're out there doing this stuff, but you're doing it the right way, and it takes a lot of hard work to do what you do. And so for you to spend some time talking about it is very much appreciated. I know we did this at Blackpool a couple years ago. You were on the panel of people talking about social media stuff, and so you're always someone I look at and I watch, and I see you doing it in style, and I respect that, man. So keep it up.
Thank you.
You're representing all of us very well, for sure.
Thank you so much. I'm going to keep doing it, keep putting smiles on people's faces, and keep representing everyone.
Let's take a look at the poll results real quick before I close up shop here. I'm publishing this on our Facebook page, so if you guys are watching on YouTube, want to jump in on our poll sometime, hop on over there. Our final results: are you focusing on social media as a magician? 61% of you said yes, and 39% of you said you were not. So maybe this chat today will make you look at things a little differently, or maybe it'll make you get that fire under you to start doing this. Not that you have to, but if you've thought about it, maybe now you'll take the jump and take some social media and add some magic to it there. And you guys watching too, real quick, if you are watching on Facebook and you want to make sure you don't miss when we go live, all you gotta do is type the word live in the chat. So if you haven't done that yet, just type in the word in the comments, say live in the chat. And I will make sure you get notified every time we go live. It's that easy, okay? So we got giveaways going on YouTube and Facebook. They're in the descriptions. I'll put some info there. Magic Singh, thank you so much, man, for hanging out, chatting with me. I know we went a little over on time, so thank you for the extra time. Appreciate it.
No, my absolute pleasure. It's lovely speaking to you, and thank you for joining as well. And hopefully we'll definitely catch up soon for sure.
Sounds good. Well, stay safe over there and keep doing what you're doing, man. It's definitely some good stuff, so keep it up.
Thank you. You too. All the best. Have a great day.
See you guys. From me and Magic Singh. Catch you guys next time. Stay safe. See ya.
Bye-bye.